Hey, Chicago, what do you say? It's the CHGO Cubs post-game show, podcast. We're everything. Today, we're just a preview of the Crosstown Series. Luke Stuckmeyer, Cody Delmendo, Ryan Herrera getting ready for the Crosstown Showdown. The show, of course, brought to you by our friends at PointsBet. Use the promo code CHGO when you sign up to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. We got a podcast every day this week, guys, and we have a
this
shot
weekend
for the Cubs potentially to be swept by the White Sox for the first time, we believe, ever in a Crosstown Series, correct? Like if you take the season series.
Yeah, I looked at trusty old Wikipedia, and from
trusty.
what I see, trusty. No, I trust it wholeheartedly. But from what I've seen, the Cubs have not been swept by the White Sox in a season series. They did sweep the Sox 4-0 in 2013, but obviously that can't happen anymore.
No.
So
they can't even win the cup, right? They can't even win the cup or the trophy or whatever they give out anymore because
it's not a cup actually anymore. Yeah,
now it's just a trophy, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I always thought it was dumb that like if it ties the person or the team that won last year just automatically gets it. Like, why don't you just set it up to where there is no tie and then someone actually earns it? Like
most runs scored, and then the next tiebreaker is something else. Like,
something. Yeah, like the best thing the Cubs could do in this series this year is just tie, but like that's what I'm saying. Like, why isn't there a 3-game series in here? Like, why isn't there a 3 and a 4-game series with this? If I don't understand the 2-game series, and the fact that we're off on a Friday just doesn't feel right today. There's someone get the MLB on the phone. I'll tell them exactly what I feel.
I was gonna say that. Well, one, Cody, the Hulu thing on your TV in the background, like I'm waiting for it to hit the corner just perfectly. So that's gonna distract me all show. 2, I was like, if it was a 3 and a 4, it would be the unfair thing that one team gets an extra home game. But like, what if they played it at like Soldier Field or something? That'd be cool.
Oh yeah,
like three at Wrigley, three on the South Side, and then 1 in Soldier Field for all the marbles.
All I'm asking is just for a way for whoever wins it to actually earn it, like
to win it.
It pretty much said that they won it after they won the second game at Wrigley, and it's like they played 2 games, but it's because they won it last year, and the best the Cubs can do now is tie. So it's like, again, I don't really care in the grand scheme of things, but at the same time, it's like if they really wanted to like make this thing much more intense, that would be a good start.
I don't know who really cares who has the cup. I don't think either side of town actually cares about the old Crosstown Cup or the new Crosstown Trophy. But like maybe who won the most games. I don't know. I don't know if anybody really cares about any of it. But I will say this. Let's say I saw most of the game yesterday. 20 runs to the Reds, right?
20?
You lose by 15 to the worst team in baseball. I don't see how anything will get lower than that this season for the Cubs coming into this. By the way, the Sox got blasted yesterday too, but 20 runs to the Reds. Even if the Sox sweep the Cubs, is that even possibly close to being worse than losing a game by 15 runs to the Cincinnati Reds this year? To me, that's going to be the low of the low unless they go on a 15-game losing streak. That has to be rock bottom, losing to that team. They're not even trying to win.
Yeah, well, here I was like, the Sox are supposed to be championship contenders this year. The Cubs are not. So I was like, a sweep wouldn't be the biggest surprise. But then you got the Reds, who are the tankers of the Major League Baseball, and you lose 20-5 to them. Like that's like you said, that's definitely a low point. I don't know that it. I guess you would hope that it wouldn't get any lower than that, but that's certainly a low point of the season. Is just that was, and then Cody mentioned it like on the show on Wednesday, like, hey, that last little rally they had in the was it the 8th or the 9th? He's like, oh, maybe they got some momentum going. It was the 9th inning. Maybe they got some momentum going into this last game, and then can get a win going into the Crosstown Classic over the weekend. And it was the opposite.
Well, they carried it into the first inning, at least. I mean, they did lead at one point yesterday.
Sure.
Yeah, no, I'm with Luke here, and our friend David Kaplan, his famous recaps that he always posts on the tube these days. He had a nice little rant outside by the Chicago River yesterday, and like I was with him. Like a lot of people, this kind of goes back to the video that we promoted for one of our shows recently of Luke saying like fan however you want to fan, basically, and like. If Cap wants to be mad that the Cubs lost 20-5, like more power to him. And like, I don't care if like the Cubs are going to be selling at the end of July or maybe not sell as much or just who knows, maybe they don't do anything at all. I don't care like that. There's no expectations for this team. You're the Chicago Cubs. You're in a big market and you lost 20-5 to a Reds team that you can barely name 5 players on. I mean, barely. You can barely do that off the top of your head. Like like even the die-hardest of baseball fans, I feel like can barely name the entire starting lineup for the Cincinnati Reds this year. And you lost 20-5 to them. And, Justin Steele's my guy. Didn't DM him yesterday. But like that was far and away like his worst performance of the year. And maybe he really just owns the Diamondbacks. I expected better. Like he had pitched the last 2 games really well, and then yesterday, like got through the first really easily, and then I don't know. Kyle Farmer decided to be God, and then the floodgates open, and next thing you know, you're down 10-3 in the third or whatever. I mean, I did the CHGO Sports Podcast with Kevin, Kada, and Alex yesterday. Who else was in there?
Jake was on, wasn't
Jake. Yeah, Jake. I was trying to think of what show he was on. It's just Jake. He's our fearless leader. Yeah, it's just Jake. And so I missed like the first like 2.5, 3 innings. We get done with the show. I go over by the tables and chairs, turn the game on. It's on for 12 minutes, and the Reds score 8 consecutive runs. I'm like, what is going on? What is going on? So in a way, it was like laughable because of like the timing of me turning the game on. And then in another way, it's like, this is embarrassing. So yeah, it was kind of nice to have an off day today because like you lose like that. And then if they had to play the Sox today, then it's been like, I need a day off from this team. So
it probably would have been bad weather anyways. And again, the only way it gets worse is like a 15-game losing streak that includes a sweep to the Reds. Or a sweep to the Reds and Pirates, like somewhere in there if the schedule lined up that way. That's the only way you could have a rock bottom lower than that, in my opinion. So Cueto is game 1. I think that's the game. If the Cubs are more likely to win one, that's the game for me. I still don't believe Johnny Cueto is going to be the savior for the White Sox that he has been. Like I think it's 12 innings, no runs. We'll see. We'll see. I like Keegan Thompson. We'll see how that start goes, and then they get Miley going in the second game of the series. I think it's reasonable, again, to think that the Cubs get at least 1 game in the series. Frankly, they should have won one of the first 2. So I think it's possible. The Sox are back to the 500 mark, too. So it's not like they're, tearing up baseball anymore either. They've come back to reality after a little bit of a hot stretch.
Yeah, I mean.
Is it Miley tomorrow or on Sunday? I think
Miley's on Sunday. No,
I'm pretty sure it's Stroman, which would
Stroman?
help. I'm pretty certain, and that would also help considering the White Sox mash lefties.
Yeah,
it would be good to get a righty starter in there.
So then I feel even better about it.
Yeah. Well, what I was gonna say is like, I thought the White Sox were really gonna go on a run after this whole Donaldson Anderson thing happened. You know how a team riles up together after something like that, I guess, and like that's how they played New York on Sunday, winning 2 games on that doubleheader. And then this week they've just been kind of up and down. I thought like they played really well against the Red Sox in Boston, but then really didn't play that well against them this week. Of course, the Red Sox have been playing much better baseball. And that's kind of how I feel about the Cubs going into this series, even though they just lost by 15 runs to the Reds. Let's be real, they have played better since, that West Coast trip in terms of just being more, their offense at least has been more competitive. Keegan Thompson pitched pretty well against the Sox. They struggle against righties that pitch like Keegan Thompson. The only thing that the Sox got off him was a opposite field homer by Tim Anderson that I still don't know how it went out on the day that went out. If there's any game I feel like the Cubs can win this weekend, it is tomorrow. I do think it'll be interesting to hear the crowd for Stroman on Sunday, because let's never forget how he said that he'd never play for Tony La Russa. So I will have a little bit more rooting interest for Marcus Stroman on Sunday, no doubt.
Yeah. By the way, I just looked. There has been no announced starter for Sunday. But it would be a full rest for Stroman if they were to throw him on Sunday. But I did know Miley had pitched this past Sunday, so they may just keep to not give him 8 days in between starts. Right. But yeah, I just think, especially with Keegan going Saturday, we've talked about him, how good he's been out of the bullpen, how dominant he's looked out of the bullpen. And so this is kind of the role I think he's best in, is just keeping him as that multi-inning weapon out of the bullpen like he was on Sunday. But then also, like, when you need a guy to pick up a spot star, jump into the rotation one time through, that's also where Keegan Thompson can be very good. We saw that in the last one. He had 5 innings. What was it, the Pirates game, I want to say? I might be wrong on that, but he had 5 innings, shutout. It was as good of a start as you could have asked for Keegan Thompson at that point. And so obviously you want to see that continue into this start. I know he's told us, as far as how he prepares every day, especially when he gets starts, that he prepares the same as he would prepare as if he was going out of the bullpen. Like, he tries not to change anything, which, when he's coming out of the bullpen, clearly things are going right for him. So that's a good step, is to just not change anything and to keep preparing like he always does. But yeah, I think Saturday is a good test for Keegan as far as can he be a rotation piece, especially the closer we get to the trade deadline and the Cubs sell off like we expect. There's probably a spot or two opens up, and he could be a guy that gets thrown into there. So this is definitely a good test for Keegan coming up on Saturday, just to see where he's at, because the White Sox haven't played like it lately, but they are a playoff caliber team. They have a playoff caliber lineup, and so throwing Keegan in there, seeing what he could do against the White Sox, is definitely going to be, like I said, a good test just to see where he's at as far as can he be a starter in the rotation moving forward.
Robert will be out too because of COVID. I don't know if there's anyone else, but I do know that Robert's out, which is, it benefits the Cubs in this scenario. Yeah, my expectations is to just win one. There's no way they win both. If they win both, I'm going to be going into the office on Tuesday, like, despite whatever happens in the doubleheader with Milwaukee on Memorial Day. At least I'll be able to go in the office and say, hey, we weren't as bad as we all thought for like a weekend. You know what I mean?
So, hey, the Cubs and Sox are off today. Cody, I assume you do not take a day off from the betting.
No, I went 2-0 last night, Luke. So I feel like I'm starting to get hot again. And the best way to support CHGO and do that is, download the PointsBet app. And you can use code CHGO when you sign up. If you make a $50 or more first-time deposit, receive a free CHGO membership, which unlocks all of our web content. You even get a free shirt of your choice from the CHGO locker. If you have any questions, email pointsbet@allchgo.com and we'll help you. Remember that PointsBet is your home for live in-game betting. They even have a new exclusive feature, live NBA same-game parlay. For the first time ever, build the perfect live same-game parlay only with PointsBet. Combine your favorite bets anytime during the game. You can even boost your live same-game parlays. And now online sign-up is available in Illinois. If you didn't know, which it'd be really hard if you didn't know by now because it's been available for like 2 months, you can actually download the PointsBet app right now and register your account from start to finish, all from your phone. And every show I say it, if Luke can do it, literally everyone can do it. It's that easy. Signing up with the fastest sportsbook is now easier than ever, so you can start living your bet life in seconds. Use code CHGO to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. So what are you waiting for? Once the game starts, don't just bet, live your bet life with PointsBet. Gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700.
We hope that you love what we're doing here at CHGO. We're going to do a snake draft coming up here in a couple of seconds. First, we just want to remind you, we've got pregame shows, as I said at the top. We've got postgame shows. We've got regular podcasts. Today's an off-day podcast. This weekend, we don't always have podcasts on every Saturday. So this Saturday, we are doing a pre- and post-game show for the Cubs and Sox game. The Sox guys will do their own post-game show. We'll do our own post-game show, and we'll do a pre-game show, a Crosstown style one together. So that's Saturday and Sunday. Ryan's going to be at the ballpark, premium written content. Vinny Duber will be there for the White Sox. And, of course, it's a good chance to order up your dope merch, wear it to the ballpark. Free shirt when you become a member. And, of course, members also get a chance at the CHGO Lounge. I see Cody, by the way, has an obvious shirt. He got the new Wrigley scoreboard clock, which is hard to get.
It is.
I've got a couple ideas for some Cub ones we're not giving away for CHGO that are going to be just as hot. I
was talking to Joe yesterday walking into a store. I told him that we need to get a CHGO obvious shirt, like crossover, something going. I don't know what, but
it's a good idea.
Let's get in the lab and figure it out.
Get in the lab.
The shirt lab.
Get in the lab. Yeah.
Tommy Hodby has his pitch lab. We got our shirt lab.
Shirt lab, yeah. All right, let's figure out how we're going to do this snake draft. We've done some before. The idea for this one is Cubs or White Sox players from 2005 to 2016. So any player in that championship window when the two teams won here in Chicago. So 05 to 06 or to 2016, we're going to do 8 position players and 1 pitcher. Okay. You can pick from either team as long as they play from that roster. How do you guys feel about if a guy played a position even once, you can take him. Otherwise, like for instance, if you want to take Anthony Rizzo as your pitcher, go ahead. Like he did pitch a game in that window, so Rizzo could be your starting pitcher. He
has a 0.00 ERA.
Yeah, he's almost unhittable. And and then the other rule is, outfield. We're just going to call it outfield. So if you want to pick a center fielder to play left field and vice versa, whatever. I don't think anything else should come up that's totally strange.
I don't mind if whoever played, a position that maybe you didn't know he did.
Right.
I don't mind.
Right. You could probably get Chris Bryant at some kind of strange position. You could probably get Zobrist at some strange position. I wouldn't know the White Sox guys as well about where you're to hide them at, but
I'm cool with that.
We're good. Okay.
Yeah.
What's the draft order? Do we decide I'm first?
I think it's elders.
Yeah, we respect the elders here.
Respect the elders.
Respect the elders.
It's because the ageism complaint I filed the other day.
Yep. To HR.
But you weren't letting me pick first in the who you got ever. I was always getting the last pick.
You just weren't responding in Slack fast enough. That's basically
it doesn't matter how it happened. I was picking last every time. All right, let's get it going then. Natalie's back there. She's going to compile our list. You got to have 1 player at every position, 3 outfielders, 1 starting pitcher. If I go first,
no DH.
No DH. No DH.
Just making sure.
If I'm going first, then I'm going to take Chris Bryant at third.
Oh, okay.
And that's because several reasons. One, third base is sort of thin. It's not a great position. And I mean, you have that. There's a guy that falls in that window that was a league MVP and a rookie of the year in that stretch. So, I don't know. Prime Chris Bryant from 15 to 16 is pretty tough to beat. There were a couple other ways I was going. I don't want to ruin the next pick, so I'll stay with that. But listen, Chris Bryant, I mean, I thought about taking a few other guys. Chris Bryant at third base, and the deciding factor in it was because when I thought about other third basemen, I didn't want to get stuck third at that position and have to take some guys that I really didn't want to take. So I'll go KB.
That's fair.
Okay.
All right. Looks like Cody's up.
Cody, you're up.
Yeah. I feel like there's so many to choose from, but I feel like I remember the last time we did a draft, like Ryan went with catcher because he just thought it was so like there wasn't a lot to choose from.
Well,
Which it
that's maybe the
wasn't.
mistake I just made. And you ended up with Bryant and Rizzo. And I was like, boy, we were dumb on that.
So like I'm feel like, but there's so many here, but there's also like kind of like what Luke said. And I also feel like the same way with catcher. So I'm going to go ahead and take Wilson Contreras.
Wilson. All right.
Okay.
All right. Wilson's
All right,
off the
all
way.
right. That was
So he
I
was
was
the
also-
number 1 pick in our last draft, and he's the number 2 pick in
Number
our
2.
draft this time.
We'll see if it pays off for me or not.
yeah, I was considering it, honestly, going back to the well this time around. Man. All right, I'm just gonna go with first base. I'm gonna go Anthony Rizzo. Gotta get him off the board.
So all Cubs so far. Bryant's gone. Rizzo's gone. Contreras gone.
And
Those
then
those are pretty high on the pick list too in the last that was our like couple decades draft of just Cubs players, right?
Yeah.
And so you get another one, Ryan, because it's a snake draft. So you get
I do get
3
another
and
one.
4.
I do get another one, and I'm gonna go. Ooh, I'm gonna go shortstop. And I'm gonna go Tim Anderson.
Oh,
I'm gonna go Tim Anderson as shortstop.
there's the first Sox player off the board. Well, you're taking you're not doing Tim Anderson?
No. I was gonna say my hands off the chess piece. Just he's still playing. He's a great player, obviously, and I could win some Sox votes off of that. Cody's not because Cody hates Tim Anderson and thinks Nico's better. But
I never said that, but
well, I think I can win some Sox votes off of Tim Anderson. So
He wasn't very good in 2016 though. Like 175 strikeouts. If we're picking the window that we're talking about, I agree. He's a great player. Like if you're picking shortstop today, he's the shortstop. But in 2016, my argument would be he struck out 173 times.
Luke, Mark Grace was your first baseman in our 2000s draft.
That's right.
He played 1 year in 2000. People aren't gonna look at the stats. They're gonna see the name. Okay,
you're right. If we're just going by name, people are gonna be like Tim Anderson. That's right.
Exactly. So
this is not a 2005 to 2022 draft. That's all I'm saying.
This is 2005 to 2016. I'm sticking with
I
Tim
can't
Anderson.
believe you're playing up to Sox fans already.
Gotta do what I gotta do, man.
Bailed on the Cubs. They only took 4 picks.
I'm objective.
all
right, go
I'm
ahead, Cody.
objective. Okay. Well, I wouldn't say I'm playing up to Sox fans here, but I'm going to take the one guy who's got a perfect game, and that's Mark Burley as my starting pitcher.
Early.
I kind of wanted to take Zambrano if I wanted to go that route in terms of like, I don't know, the career, what they put together. Like he has a no-hitter. I mean, Arrieta has 2 no-hitters, but I'll take the one guy who's got a perfect game.
All right.
And, I was thinking, like, if I had to take a Sox player, I think Burley was going to be my first one just for length of game. I thought, listen, he was a great pitcher.
You love pitchers like Burley. He's fast.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I knew he would speed up the game and it'd be a quick moving game if he was on my team. I'd play nothing but 2-hour games. And frankly, I don't like, again, this is like when Rizzo was booed on the South Side. I compared it to like, would Cubs fans really boo Mark Burley that much if he came back with like when he came with the Cardinals? Was he booed that heavily? I don't remember it. I don't really know that Cubs fans hate Mark Burley. Like,
no,
I thought he was a great player. He was. I don't know that he's a Hall of Famer, but he was a great player, and I love how fast he pitched. So you stole one of my picks, Cody. You stole one of my.
If I took him too early, oh well. I also barely done any research for this too.
That's where I'm at.
Well, all right. So now I have 2. That leaves me with no choice but to take Hobby at short.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to have Alexei Ramirez on my team.
You don't want Ildemaro Vargas? Oh yeah, that's not 2016.
No.
He would be.
Yeah, right.
He
doesn't fit in the window. If Nico Hoerner was
window.
available, then I would have felt a little bit better about it. But no, Alexei Ramirez is not on my team. So, I mean, Javi was during that stretch. Javi was great. You know, this is the anniversary of the tag, right? Is it the tag or which play is today's anniversary?
Yeah, it was a year ago today.
It
wasn't not the tag. It was the crazy
crazy
magic
base
in
running.
Pittsburgh. Yeah,
that's right. The Magic Man.
You can't even explain what happened. And like
El Mago.
Yeah, it was just El Mago.
Yeah. I had to write about it, and I still couldn't even explain what happened.
I literally, that's when you know it's wild.
If there was like a webcam on me at that point in time, like as I was watching it, I was just sitting here like, what the hell is going on? Like, what am I watching? Like, that's literally my reaction because it was unreal. It was unreal to watch.
And that's another reason I'm taking Javi too, is because just like, you know, everybody calls it the peanut punch, you know, like Peanut Tillman forces the fumble by punching out the ball. I feel like you see all over baseball now, guys sliding in a second and pulling up the hand and going around with the other. Like the Javi slide into bases, they should just call it a Javi slide because that's what it is. I don't remember anybody else like actually decoying a fielder into thinking he was coming that way and then reaching around with the other hand. So that's where I've got Javi. Now let me.
I do have one question. Do have one question. Would they have had to play that position in the time frame?
Yeah, right.
Like say Javi didn't play shortstop from like 15 or 16. Would he not be eligible for shortstop?
Yeah, I guess so. If he didn't play any shortstop, if that's true, then I have to put him somewhere else.
That's what I'm asking because
I think he would have played shortstop in that window.
I'll look it up.
He might have played short in 2014. I mean, he was a utility guy in 15 and 16.
He only has to play like one game,
right?
So that's why I didn't even consider it.
He got a few games at shortstop in 15. We're good.
Okay.
We're good.
Okay. All right.
I figured he was.
That would have been a mistake. I would have had to stick him somewhere else, right?
Yeah, I figured he did. I'm just like, there's a couple other players that I'm like, oh, like, okay, like we'll see on that one.
If anything, you could have stuck him in center field. I remember a few games he played center field.
That's right.
Maybe.
That's right. And that wouldn't have been a bad pick.
No, okay. I'm gonna. I mean, this is not giving away a pick, but the reason I asked that is because you can't pick Frank Thomas for first base.
Right. Yeah, Frank didn't. He didn't. After 05,
04 was the last
after 04, he only DH'd.
Yep, he didn't play any first base after that. So that was.
And again, Frank would be another one of those like, well, what player are you getting for that stretch? Although he did have like a monster year with the A's the following year, right, when he left the White Sox.
Yeah, he played a full season after that.
But I know he did only DH that year they went to the World Series. He didn't play a lot that year, obviously. All right, so now I've either got to find a first baseman, a second baseman, an outfielder, or starting pitcher. I'm going to go with Schwarber for outfield. No, I can't. No.
Oh.
Up. My hand was still on the chess piece. I'm going to go Soriano.
Soriano in outfield. Okay.
He was looking at that picture of him all jacked again.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, who still looks like that? I bet Joe Creedy doesn't look like that.
All right, Cody.
But Aaron Rowan doesn't look like that.
Yeah.
You're giving away picks now, even though not picks.
Scott Podsednik doesn't look like that.
Well, okay, so I got a catcher, I got a pitcher, so I got to start getting some position players here. Let's start up the middle. Javi and Anderson are off the board.
They are.
I don't want Alexi Ramirez. I really don't want him. How about Ben Zobrist at second base?
Okay.
Yep, Zobrist off.
Zobrist at second base. All right. I do like that. one. I'm gonna have to go. Oh, I lost who I had. Oh, third base. I'm gonna go Aramis Ramirez.
Yeah.
Go Ramy. Gonna have to go.
Yeah,
Ramy.
I think that's the obvious other choice at third base. When I took Bryant, I'm like, if you don't get Bryant or Ramirez, then where are you going?
That's where I was at. I was like, could I have gotten him? Probably not. So I'm like, I kind of need to take him now, or otherwise I'm stuck with.
That's right.
Other third baseman, which I'm not gonna name names. So
that's right.
Gotta think. All right, and then so I have one more pick. Oh, this is tough. I did no research. I have like a list of like the Cubs we did from like the last one, and I'm trying to like do parallels, like who was on the Sox at that point in time, but I have no idea. Damn. All right, so I have third base gone. We also have shortstop and first base. This is tough. This is tough. I'm gonna have to go. I'll go second base, and I'll take Starlin Castro.
Cassie.
Yep, got my infield all filled out now.
Starlin Castro, best walk-up song in Cubs history.
Yeah. That's just gonna take that. That's gonna limit your shortstops right there, Cody. Just saying.
That is, yeah.
I know.
Few shortstops on the board for you left. You do have some Cubs legends.
I'm still all Cubs, by the way. All Cubs on my team.
I'm 3 or 4.
Straight blue.
All right. Well, I do have to take a shortstop now. I think I absolutely have to.
I think you have no choice.
I'm trying to think who was playing shortstop besides the last Cub that is in our minds over this time, and I can't, like, Castro is out, Baez is out.
Yeah.
Oh, there has to be one.
you go to the Sox side.
I could.
The South side, and they had a shortstop we keep mentioning.
Fine. I'm still not taking Alexi Ramirez. I'll take Juan Uribe. At least he won the World Series.
Oh, okay. Juan Uribe.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I like that one.
So
you managed to avoid Alexi Ramirez.
Yeah.
And Addison Russell.
There you go.
We all avoided Alexei, right?
Yeah.
Here's what I'm gonna say as that strategy, Cody. You didn't need to take a shortstop there.
You're right, because I know neither one of you guys were going to take another one, but
yep.
No, that's what I was thinking. Once the other two were gone, you could have just waited and taken your leftovers there.
Yeah,
that's true.
So,
all right. So that leaves me with the final pick of the 4th round, correct?
Yes. 4. Yeah. 4th round.
And you guys already filled your infield, second, short, third?
Mine's
I still
all
need
gone,
first and third.
All right. I'm going to take at second base, Mark DeRosa.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. I like that one.
I
was thinking about him for
played
second
shortstop. Did he play any shortstop?
Yeah, for sure. I think he's played shortstop. I don't.
Maybe not with the Cubs, but he may have at some point.
Anyway, so I'll take DeRosa. Let's take a quick break here since we're through 4 rounds and get to one of our proud sponsors, Strava Craft Coffee. Want to start your day with a competitive edge? Strava CBD coffee is a game changer. It has helped thousands of people to improve their overall wellness and quality of life. Strava delivers delicious, fresh roasted specialty coffee infused with organic broad spectrum CBD from hemp. It doesn't make you high or hungry, but it does offer real benefits that can help you feeling alert and focused without the jitters. Live your day more balanced, less anxiety, fewer aches and pains, plus including CBD in your daily routine can even help you enjoy a more restful sleep so you wake up feeling your best. And the best part is that Strava is all about quality too. Everything is small batch, fresh, and shipped straight to your door. Strava also offers concentrated full spectrum CBD if you want the more traditional format with a powerful entourage of benefits. CHGO listeners can save 25% off their entire purchase when you use the code CHGO25. That's 25% off the entire order at StravaCraftCoffee.com when you use the code CHGO25 at checkout. Discount coupon valid on non-subscription purchases only. One use per customer. And if you already love Strava, then go ahead and subscribe and save with the Strava Coffee Club. With Strava, you're in control. You save on your favorite coffees and have them automatically delivered to your home or office on your preferred schedule. Strava Craft Coffee. All right, so we're through 4 rounds of our Crosstown Fantasy Snake Draft from 05 to 2016. So the championship window for the 2 teams. By the way, I was just thinking about that. Boy, the Sox haven't won the World Series in 17 years.
Feels like a long time.
There's kids driving cars that haven't seen the White Sox win the World Series. It's a long time.
Almost through high school.
Yeah. All right. So I have Chris Bryant at third, Javi at short, DeRosa at second, and Soriano in the outfield. But I need a first baseman. I need more outfielders. I need a catcher, and I need a starting pitcher. I'm going to go to, boy, there's some good choices there. So I'm going to go, oh boy, catcher's thin, huh? Tough call after that. All right, I'm going to go back to the outfield again, though. I'm going to go with Schwarber.
Schwarber, okay. He almost had it last time, and he stuck with his guns.
Stuck with it.
He's got Soriano and Schwarber in the outfield.
Yeah.
I hope Schwarber's playing center.
Yeah.
All right.
Soriano played center back in the day.
He did. 2007, he started until he got hurt. And then,
prior to the quad
did he
rip.
really play center?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was a really good. I don't want to say he was a good outfielder, but I mean, obviously, he could run a lot better before he ripped the muscle off his bone.
Right. Okay. So I need a third or first baseman. I think especially if we're talking about time periods, I think the best next one I can take is Derek Lee. He won the batting title in 2005.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Yeah, was, obviously great that year. He was good after that too, but 2005 was his peak. So
2006 he got hurt. He broke his wrist, didn't he? Like it was
and then he wasn't the same after that. Like his power was all gone after that.
2005 was a good one though.
Yeah. So yeah, there. Back on the Cubs.
Back on the Cubs train.
I like that. I like that pick for sure.
All right, I'm going to go for my fifth round pick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go starting pitcher. As a lefty. John Lester.
John Lester.
Corey's
very excited by that.
He is the guy, the free agent signing that really kind of validated what the Cubs were doing at the time. As soon as he came in, that next year, 2015 was an up and down season for him, but that next year, but obviously the Cubs went to the NLCS that year. Next year, John Lester helped him lead the way to the World Series. I think he finished second in Cy Young voting that year. Yeah, very nearly won it.
I think we can clearly say that Burley and Lester are the top two.
I think as far as iconic wise, yeah, I would say
for starting pitchers.
Yeah, I think they're the top two.
I like what I'm left with.
There's plenty of good left for sure. I mean,
there's great left.
There's plenty. Again, there's three of us, so there's plenty of great left. But the top two, I would think that I would say Burley and Lester are there.
I like Burley because of pace of play. Is he the best guy?
No, but I think he's the face of both those. If you look at 11 years worth of starting pitching, I think Burley's the face of the Sox and Lester's the face of the Cubs.
I'll just say I'm left with Arrieta and Chris Sale.
Oh yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
Chris Sale's peak was. His peak
Chris
was in
Sale
18, but he was really great with the Sox too. Also, he ripped up those jerseys, and that's probably what he'd most be remembered for the Sox. So, that's something that I'd love that passion on my team.
All right.
We had guys that somebody was going to pick Zambrano earlier, weren't they?
Yeah,
Big
him versus the Gatorade.
He was willing to fight teammates in the dugout multiple times, including on the south side.
And he threw a no-hitter in a neutral site.
Yeah.
All right. So this past round, Luke, who'd you just take at the beginning of this round?
Schwarber. So I Soriano and Schwarber off the
Cody. Cody took. You just take Cody.
I took Derek Lee.
And then I have Lester. All right, just making note of that, so I know who's gone and who's not.
All right.
Well,
you have one more, don't you?
Yeah. I start up round 6. All right, round 6. I got to build the outfield. I have to. Yeah, I have to go back to the well. Going back to the south side. I'm gonna pick up Jermaine Dye.
Jermaine Dye. That's a good pick.
Jermaine Dye, good 2000s player for the Sox. I'm starting right
World
fielder on
Series.
that World Series champion. Yep, exactly. So I think again, gonna get some Sox votes on that one. They're gonna see Jermaine Dye on there. They're gonna be like, hey, that guy helped us win a World Series, and they're gonna vote for me. So yeah, my round 6 pick, we're gonna go with Jermaine Dye.
All right. I like that. I mean, I think if there was again, of the Sox players I'd be willing to pick, he was on my list of guys that I think. I mean, he was a great player. World Series MVP, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Jermaine Dye was great. He was great with the Royals. He is great with the White Sox.
Yeah,
can't argue with that.
Great player on that World Series team. Seems like a long time ago, but yeah, I still remember Jermaine Dye being a really good player.
Yeah, I mean, how old were you when the White Sox won the World Series? You're barely old enough to remember it.
Barely, yeah, 9 years old, barely.
Oh, man. Like see how long it's been, Sox fans? Ryan's working up in the press box, and he barely remembers your team winning it.
Barely.
Oh, my gosh.
So it's Cody's turn, right?
Yeah. And I need one more spot in the infield. That's third base. Bryant's off the board. Ramirez is off the board.
Yeah. DeRosa's off the board.
And DeRosa's off the board, which honestly I kind of forgot about him. That's from the lack of research. That's like the Cubs homer in me wants to take the next guy. And then as far as actually being a great player, or at least the next guy up, that guy's on the Sox.
Well,
you got to do it, Cody.
You're talking. You're at third base, right?
Yeah, I'm at third base. Yeah, I can't decide what I want to do.
I'm trying to think of other Cubs. I mean, you know who the White Sox World Series guy was,
right?
There just wasn't any, man. There wasn't.
And his back went bad. Other third baseman in that stretch. Well, you got Mike Olt, played for both teams during that stretch. Josh Fitters played a little bit for the Cubs during that stretch for sure.
Ian Stewart. Man, I for the sake of just not getting yelled at, I'm gonna take Joe Creedy as my third base. I really wanted to take Luis Valbuena, the sweetest bat flip on the north side ever. That guy, he was fun. And he got us Dexter Fowler. So the Cubs homer in me wanted to take Luis Valbuena, but we'll stick with Joe Creedy.
I think you had to, man. It's not about being a homer. It's not about Cubs versus Sox. It's about winning.
Yeah, it is about winning.
You got to go with Joe Creedy.
Man, so you guys both have taken first base too, right? D. Lee's off the board. Rizzo's off the board.
I think I'm very even. I got 2 Sox and 2 Cubs on the infield, and then I got a Sox pitcher and a Cubs catcher. I feel like I'm very fair and down the middle.
We'll go
far.
All right, so I've got a dilemma here.
What's the dilemma?
This is I got to pick an outfielder. I am completely a Cubs roster right now, which could affect me in the voting if both sides of town get involved.
Yep.
All right, here's the outfielders I'm not going to mention all of them, but
I have plenty of outfielders, so
we do have a lot of outfielders.
There's a lot.
I still have 2 more I have to pick. So,
and there's only 1 catcher that's been taken. Is that correct?
Yep,
that is true.
Wilson Contreras.
I'm going to go. This is my controversial pick. I had a lot of thoughts about catcher.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about the guy that started the Crosstown Punch and started the Brawl, which is the greatest moment in Crosstown history, Michael Barrett, really just because I wanted somebody to start the fight. I thought about Miggy because we love Miggy, past and present. I thought about Rossi. But I'm going to go AJ. And here's the reason why. AJ Pierzynski, you hate him if he's on the other team. You sort of love him when he's on your team.
I don't think there's a sort of. I think you do love him if he's on your team.
Well, I think there are Sox players that played with him for sure that absolutely can't stand the guy. Like,
really?
yeah.
Okay.
You can't have a guy that's that much sandpaper that isn't also giving a little friction in your own clubhouse. Like, that's what got him out of Minnesota, right? Like, he was a good player in Minnesota, but it was like they couldn't take him anymore. They were like, no, get rid of him. So I'll go AJ at catcher, Brzezinski at catcher, and Dexter Fowler in center.
Oh, come on. I really wanted Dex to come back. I really wanted Dex.
I almost missed it. I almost thought I had to take a Sox player there, and I'm like, oh, God, nobody's taking Dexter Fowler. So Dexter Fowler is my pick in center field with my 7th round pick, Dexter Fowler.
Do you have
I got my leadoff
Cubs
man.
you have all Cubs except for Brzezinski?
That's right.
Okay.
What a roster to put together.
I got to tell you, I don't think there's any way I'm losing with the current roster that I have. But we're going to ride it out because you guys, by taking more Sox players, may have pulled in more votes.
I think so.
But I think in our heart of hearts, we know I've got a pretty good team going.
Pretty good team, yes.
Through 7 rounds.
Okay.
So it is back to Cody,
So it's
correct?
back to me.
Oh, man, this sucks.
Well, since it's not very deep at center field between these two teams, in my opinion, and Dexter Fowler is now off the board, and I'm not taking David DeJesus. I think I gotta go with Scott Podsednik in center field.
Come on. Come on. This is treasonous. This is why we don't respect our elders.
I should have taken my good friend Tony Campana in center field, but
yeah, you
whatever.
I'll take Tony Campana. Oh, we had some thin years. He was stealing home.
Well, the Cubs just really haven't had anyone in center field for a long time, man.
And he was so popular with some fans. Some fans were just thought he was. You still see Campana jerseys.
Tony Campana.
His dad played football at my alma mater. Like this,
there you go.
This family's a legend.
All right, we said before that it's not left field, center field, right field.
Yeah,
right?
you
Like
can
it's
take any
outfield.
position. Yeah.
All right, then I'm gonna go Jorge Soler.
Yeah,
as my second outfielder.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, the only thing I did for mine, like I didn't look into it like I have to have a guy at the corner and a center fielder. But I looked at my outfielders and I was like, all right, I have Soriano and I have Schwarber. I've got to put somebody that's good defensively out there with them, or somebody's going to complain that I'm too bad defensively.
I was so mad. I thought it was going to get back to me. I really did.
I totally forgot about him. Completely forgot about him. And then the name popped in my head.
I really thought it was going to get back to me.
All right, who's up here?
It's me. This is my second to last pick. I need one outfielder and a catcher. I'm gonna go. Oh, this is brutal. I'm gonna go catcher. No, you guys are both already taking catchers, right?
Yeah, I took AJ.
Oh, damn.
Well, it doesn't hurt to tell you who you can get here.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
you got Barrett,
you
got Miggy, you got Rossi.
I got. I was thinking Soto, and he played for both teams.
Yep.
So you could always just like put him with the Sox picture, so it looks like I have more Sox players. That would win me some more.
Wellington Castillo would have been in there in that mix somewhere.
No, Wellington Castillo's not in the mix. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to think of who the Sox have had. Flowers.
Navarro. Yeah, Flowers, Deoner Navarro.
Yeah.
But since I can go catcher, I really want to go outfield and finish this off since you guys can't take a catcher. But I got to be honest. Again, I'm with Cody. I did no research. So I have few Sox outfielders in my head. And I think we're running out of Cubs outfielders. Okay, I kind of want to go back to the well. But yeah. There's one name that the Sox have that I really want to take, who was not any good in his 1 year with the Sox.
Hawk
But
Harrelson?
the name itself is the best. It would be the biggest name on this board. But I might get called out for just trying to win. I'm just gonna tell you guys. I really want to take Ken Griffey Jr.
Oh,
because it was 1 year on the South Side.
yeah.
And I'm like,
And he fits in that window, 05?
Yeah, 08, I think it was. 08 or 07.
Yeah, he wasn't on the 05 team.
No, he wasn't on that team, but he was on like 08, I think. Like really like way towards the back end of his career.
Yeah.
And I really want to take him because I can't. I was like, if I didn't get followed, I guess this was like my next choice, but I'm like, I can't take Hap.
It's a reach.
It's a huge reach. It is a huge reach. And I was going to take Hap, and then I forgot Hap wasn't on the 16 team.
For outfield. You're not an Aaron Rowand guy?
Should I be?
I don't know. He was all right. You know?
He was all right, but
he ran into the wall a lot.
There's a couple of Cubs,
I remember that actually.
There's a couple of Cubs outfielders that I can think of. One of them has done recent TV.
One of them's done recent TV. I think I know who you're talking about, but I don't want to take him.
Solaire's off the board, right?
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm wasting too much time here.
You really are.
I gotta just go. All right.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Can't cut me down
1.
like that. All right. I am just going to go with. Oh, this is gonna get me killed. You know what? Screw it. Let's go with Ken Griffey Jr. Let's see how that does. I'm going with Ken Griffey Jr.
Ken Griffey Jr. Late in his life.
Let's do it. I love Ken
Sweetest
Griffey Jr.
swing of all time.
100%. 100%.
Just will never, ever think of him as a member of the White Sox.
But he was.
I would love to know what his stats were in the Sox uniform. Like,
I can look it up.
They weren't good.
No,
they can't be very good.
Not at all.
No.
It was like when Nomar played for the Cubs. It was like, did he really? Sort of.
Kind of.
Do we like to remember that?
Griffey in 08 he had 260 with the Sox, which is not near where his numbers had been in previous years.
Right, and 260 then was different than 260 now.
Oh yeah, three home runs. Yeah, no, I definitely just screwed myself on that pick, but it's okay.
Who you got, Cody?
Well, I thought about it a lot, and we are, we're if we're talking in this particular time frame from 2005 to 2016, Jason Hayward earned a $184 million contract, folks. So I'm gonna put him in right field, and I'm just gonna have a really good defensive outfield because I
have to catch all my base hits.
Yeah, you got Pasednik in center and Hayward in right. I feel like that's pretty solid.
That is good defensively.
Yeah,
that's
and
one
Hayward
of the worst hitting outfield in history.
Yeah, well, Hayward in 2005, and then a few years he was with Atlanta. He was hitting some homers. We're getting young Jason Hayward before except for 1 year, but for the most of it, you got really good Jason Hayward. And never forget, he hit his first career homer off Carlos Zambrano on opening day, like 2011 or 10. I can't remember. Yeah,
he did win 2 Gold Gloves in that span. That's a solid pick.
Yeah, hey, we're getting thin at outfield. Like,
we are, yeah.
I should
have. As far as like
has everybody filled their outfield? Has everybody filled?
I need one more. One more.
I definitely should have picked Jason Hayward, but oh well.
Luke? Are you done too?
Yes, I only have to fill first base and starting pitcher with my final 2 picks.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
and I have my choice. I'll let you guys help me out. I have my choice of guys that were left that obviously you can't pick because it's a snake draft.
Sure.
At first base, I have to go Sox, but my choices are Jose Abreu, Paul Konerko, or Jim Thome.
Those are the other two choices, the three choices I was thinking about.
Tommy
I'm not gonna
played
help you.
Tommy played 3 games at first base. I was just looking it up.
He did.
Well, one has 600 home runs.
I'm going to take Konerko off the list. It's either Abreu or Tomei.
Wow.
Okay.
Both. Well, one is a Hall of Famer, and the other guy, I think, if you look at his career, I think Abreu is going to be a better player than Paul Konerko.
Yeah, he did win MVP in the 2020 season, if we want to count it.
Yeah,
it was a Mickey Mouse season, but whatever.
Mickey Mouse season.
It was.
He is sort of the face of.
I'm gonna go Abreu just because I don't want to. Like Tomei played 3 games at first base.
That's a good pick.
And honestly, more people are gonna remember Tomei with like the, I guess, Guardians,
Indian. Well, he was the Indians at that point.
Yeah,
it was the Indians at that point. Whatever. I feel like more people remember him for that or the Phillies. I mean, the White Sox were towards the back end of his career. He was still good with the White Sox, but was it even 4 seasons? Like 3 or 4 seasons, right?
Yeah, and I think people are going to be shocked when they find out we did a 3-person snake draft that Konerko didn't get picked at first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but it's a deep position. Like
Cody, who's your first
easily argue D. Lee over Konerko.
Derek Lee.
Like,
yeah,
it's not crazy,
right?
Yeah,
Derek Lee was really good. I mean, Konerko is Konerko probably in the Hall of Very Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. I know some Sox fans think he's a Hall of Famer, but I don't think Mark Grace is in the Hall of Fame, even though he had the most hits in the 90s. Like,
yeah.
And he was really good, defensively.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think he's in the Hall of Very Good. And then at starting pitcher, I'm left with Arrieta or Chris Sale. Tough.
You got to go. You got 2 no-hitters. Sale didn't have a no-hitter with the Sox, did he?
I don't think so.
I don't believe so. But man,
Jake Arrieta was the best pitcher of all time for like
in this time
3
frame.
months.
He had
in
a
this time
frame.
In that time frame, he was the greatest pitcher of all time for like a 3-month stretch.
So the only 2 Sox players I selected were AJ and Abreu. If I don't take Sale.
White Sox Tom says to take Sale.
He says to take Sale.
Yeah,
Sale's really. I mean, you don't. On the other hand, like you don't get power lefties like Chris Sale very often,
right?
Yeah.
So
and still going,
Yeah,
still going. I'm gonna go Jake Arrieta. Sorry, Sox fans.
I can't
AJ
blame
and
you.
Abreu. If AJ is not enough for Sox fans, I don't know what to do for him.
Wow, I'm just realizing my defense is just pretty poor if this lineup were to go out there. But oh well.
I think if you're going to say career, I think career-wise, Chris Sale will have a better career.
Yeah,
but
for sure,
no one's going to have that run that Jake Arrieta had for like a year, a calendar year. Like it was absolutely it. I remember we were talking to Jed,
too, right?
Yeah, at peak Jake, the peak Jake, and we were talking to Jed. I remember, like the day he retired, and he's like, sometimes you see a guy pitching so well, and you're like, hey, like this guy, he's pitching like 2015 Jake. But then you look at Jake's stats, and you realize like no one ever actually pitches like that. I'm like, that's true. Like you can compare someone to like, this guy's pitching like Jake Arrieta did when he, whatever. No one does that. Like that's unheard of numbers the second half of 15. So I think just as far as peak wise, that's the better pick.
I do think though that if we get through this at the end, if we put a list together of players not selected, Chris Sale would be the most surprising.
Yeah.
But Arrieta would be pretty high on that list too. I'm good with it.
All right. Well, because outfield is like, it's so thin. And that's my biggest regret is not going outfield earlier. I should have waited on pitcher. That is what it is. Bad in third base after Bryant and Ramirez were taken off. But I don't know if you guys were even thinking about this name, but Carlos Quentin hit 36 bombs in 2008 for the White
Oh,
Sox.
wow. No.
I
So
did think about that name.
I'm gonna put Carlos Quentin out there on the left for me, and we got there's the power that I needed in the outfield because Pasednik hit like what 1 or 2 homers in 05, but he had like one of them was in the World Series, and then you got defense and Jason Hayward contact can maybe hit you homers if it depending on the year, and then Carlos Quentin, he was a 20+ homer guy for the Sox from 08 to like 2011 or something. So considering everyone got all the good Cubs outfielders, I just had to go this way. So.
I think Luke got who'd you get? You got Fowler and who else?
Outfielder. My outfield is Soriano, Schwarber, and Dexter Fowler.
Yeah, you got the good Cubs outfilders. Like that's just what he did.
I mean, my outfield is Jorge Soler, Jermaine Dye, and Ken Griffey Jr. an old Ken Griffey Jr. Like that's right.
Listen, all I know is I definitely won outfield. I have the best outfield.
I think so. But I win.
Junior.
All right, let me make my last pick and then we'll talk about it. My last pick, I gotta go catcher. I'm gonna go Giovanni Soto.
2008 Rookie of the Year, man.
Yeah, 2008
one really good year.
Played for both teams, so that might help.
Yeah, might help you a little bit.
My outfield, I waited way too long. I was like praying that Fowler got back to me. That neither one of you thought about him, and then then you took Fowler, Luke, and then Cody took Pasednik, and I was like, I'm screwed. But
you could have taken Jim Edmonds.
I could have, but
Jim Edmonds, Reed Johnson.
Reed Johnson. There you go.
Nate Shearholt.
I think a name recognition.
David DeJesus.
David DeJesus.
Is that what you were talking about? A guy that has done TV recently? Were you talking about DeJesus?
No, I was talking about Cliff Floyd.
Cliff Floyd. Okay, that's
Cliff Floyd. He's out there.
Juan Pierre was another one. Juan Pierre, Aaron Rowan.
Yeah.
Everyone roasted me for Juan Pierre last time, though. When I picked,
he played with the Cubs for 1 year, and it was like the Cubs were bad.
But he did play in this window. What about Marlon Bird?
Oh, no.
Jock Jones, Milton Bradley.
Jones.
But if someone would have drafted Milton Bradley, you're gonna get canceled.
I wasn't gonna do it. I'll be honest with you. With the first pick, I contemplated for a brief moment taking Michael Barrett just so we could have a fight. Just so we could get the brawl started.
And then you went all
I almost
the way.
took Barrett to get people really riled up.
Yeah, and then you took a 180 and picked up Przinsky instead. I don't know. I think
I win. Second overall.
I win in name recognition. I think. Yeah, Ken Griffey Jr. out there. Tim Anderson, even though he was not Tim Anderson, he was now. Like it's still there. I think name recognition wise, like you look at it, you're like,
I think mine is the most fair. I got 2 Cubs, 2 Sox on the infield. I got a Sox pitcher, but a Cubs catcher, and then I got 2 Sox in the outfield and a Cubs. And 1 Cubs outfielder. I feel like I'm very fair. I'm very fair.
You're very fair.
And if they would have allowed us to take a DH, I would have found a way to get another Cub in there to make it even.
Well, I was going to take Jim Thomas.
I would have taken Frank Thomas first overall if we got a DH 100%.
Yeah, as long as you were just saying like it doesn't matter what his stats were in that window, right?
We're gonna put this graphic out, and so many people are gonna be mad that we don't have Frank Thomas on here.
Oh, that's
he
didn't play first base in the window.
But you know how the internet works.
First base. I know they're going to be mad because we're not going to be there to explain why Frank Thomas isn't there, and it's because there's no DH in what we're picking,
right?
And he didn't play a position, so Frank was out of the mix. That's agreed. And listen, my team. Come on, guys. My infield is Jose Abreu, Mark DeRosa, Javi Baez, Chris Bryant. My outfield, Soriano, Schwarber, and Dexter Fowler. I have AJ behind the plate with Herrera pitching. That is not beatable.
Very Cubs heavy.
Yeah, but AJ counts for like 3 White Sox players. If you're picking AJ Przinsky, he counts as more than 1. He's like at least 2.5.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna win the Cubs vote. I think. Cubs or not Cubs.
Well, AJ will cost me in the Cubs vote.
I think the Sox fans are going to look at mine and be like, man, this guy was so bold. He took Ken Griffey Jr. Like, we got to vote for him.
White Sox Tom just jumped on. He said, no, Luis Robert. We're only picking players that played for these 2 teams between 05 and 2016.
Yep.
So
no.
Chris Sale is on there. That's why Eloy is great. Eloy doesn't count on there.
Yep. That's
Tony Campana fan says Ryan Theriot is a miss.
Hey, Tony Campana fan. We were all seriously considering taking Tony Campana. So
we were.
Yeah, sure.
I think my D-row at second base was a pretty good pick. One of my better picks, because after that, here's a name that we didn't throw out there and I thought of. You thought of Ken Griffey Jr. I thought of Marcus Semien could have been your second baseman.
Yeah, I didn't think of that.
He was, that was really young in his career. He's turned out to be really good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna hope.
Good?
I'm gonna hope I gain some respect from the Sox for taking Ken Griffey Jr. because that's quite that's the biggest reach I've taken in this whole time.
And White Sox, Tom, if you go back and watch the whole podcast, I took Abreu over Konerko. That's why Konerko's not on the team. All right, we'll get ready. Crosstown, see if the Cubs can avoid being swept for the first time ever by the White Sox in a season series that we can think of, at least.
We got Soto with the Sox hat on. Oh, so I got 5 Sox players. There we go.
You got 5 Sox players.
Wait, no, 4.
Soto. Well, you got Soto in a Sox hat. That's why.
I got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4 Cubs, 5 Sox. It was, is what it is.
Yeah, 5. That's surprising. I thought you were going to go 9 Cubs and not even.
I mean, again, I'm trying to play fair and down the middle here.
That's right. That's right.
For something like this. Now tomorrow you'll get to see me be a giant Cubs homer, and it's fine.
Oh,
the Cubs pissed me off. They lost 20-5 to the Reds. Let's be objective today.
My defense is not going to be good. All the way down to John Lester throwing to first base. Like it's nice.
I think I got a really good defense. Like I got Contreras behind the plate who can pick people off and also throw runners out. You got Zobers, who was pretty solid. Burley was pretty good as a pitcher defensively. Derek Lee was always I think he was in a goal. He's got a gold glove at least. And then Hayward and Pasednik were, obviously there's some gold in there. And then, not everyone's gold.
Your outfield just cannot hit very well.
Yeah. It's Carlos Quentin or bust. But Pasednik would get on base though, man, and he'd steal base. He'd get on and he'd steal bases, man.
All right. So pregame show at 5:30. Again, if you haven't already subscribed, become a member. Ryan will be writing at the ballpark with Vinny Duber all weekend. Make sure you get the membership, and then you get your free shirt, your dope merch. Cody and I will join the White Sox guys for pregame show at 5:30 on Saturday. And then again, before the game on Sunday, we'll have our own postgame shows. So Cody and I will have ours, and then Sean and Herb will have their postgame show after the game. Hope you'll join us. Thanks for listening to the CHGO Cubs podcast presented by PointsBet. Use the promo code CHGO when you sign up to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. Have a great weekend and fly the W.